What's going on, guys? I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to cover a lot of things. And you guys saw that Bitcoin dropped. I'm going to get rid of this line. You guys saw that as I mentioned before, Bitcoin did a fake out, and even if we want to just take this line all the way up and make the triangle kind of update it to the new line that we made. So if we actually consider it this way like that, it's not going to be perfect, but as you guys see that it is kind of ranging within these two lines, right? And we had a rally up, and then we started going back down to the same supply level, right? And then we started going up, but we got to this supply level, right? So you guys can see that anytime we have these kind of curves, they are a huge level. They could be huge level for support and resistance, right? So in this case, it got to this level, got support, and it went higher, and it got to this level and got rejected and went lower. So you guys see that eventually this is gonna break out of these with either from the top one or from the bottom one. And I made this two lines, and I'm still expecting to go back down to get another support here if this does not hold. So I told you guys that I'm still waiting for almost $64,000, $64,000, which could happen. And if I want to still make this line, because this line can still work as a resistance level, because Bitcoin has broken below and it can go almost up to $69,000. And if it does not break above, it might go back down to this time revisit $64,000. Then you guys pay attention, and I've been showing you guys USDT dominance. You see how beautifully it worked. If you guys were around and you remember that I mentioned that once we're gonna get around this level, on top of all these shadows, we're gonna have a little bit of pump for USDT. And I was expecting that I was given a scenario that I was expecting Bitcoin to even crash lower, which was gonna be around this level, $60 or $49,000. But it did not, because it did not hold the support, obviously. So it broke below. You guys see, and let me zoom in a little bit. You guys see that it even got back down to this level. It kind of ranged and it started dropping. But this level, you guys see that all these supports are very strong here. And I'm going to make it just a straight line in here, because I'm going to just use this. So this is the lowest point USDT dominance can go. And you want to compare it with this level. Long time ago in 2020, if you guys look at this area, we had almost, it was kind of different, but look at it. We had this rally base rally, right? Same as rally base rally. And we did not even go, when you guys see that it dropped down to these levels, it went below this level, right? Let me make it with lines so you don't get confused. So this is same as this right here. Okay, so you guys can clearly see. I want you guys to compare. Let me make a line for this here. I want you guys to pay attention. Okay, these two lines are same as these two. How? So this one is on top of this, right? These shadows would be same as this one, right? You guys see this top of it. And we had a lot of support around this level, but it broke below, but it did not have to go all the way down to this level, which is we are around this level. So this line, I'm going to make this red and red. So you guys can see that how in different scenarios, different chart, it does not have to repeat the same exactly. Okay, so this was the lowest point of this rally base rally. USDT dominance, it started going lower, but within these two lines it got support, and Bitcoin started crashing. I'm not going to bother go back to Bitcoin to see where this was exactly happening. But in here, you guys see that after we broke below the screen level, we went all the way back down. We have not quite touched this red yet. It does not have to, as I said, but it can actually go back down to retouch this and actually touch it for the first time. As I said, it did not it still have happened that touch it completely around 3.71%. If you guys remember, I mentioned this. We can still go back down, but that is very, I do not really think we're gonna go that high that much, because the CPI came out and you guys see that it was way worse than everybody was expecting. I told you guys, I mentioned this before. The numbers are gonna get a lot worse. They try to pretend that everything is fine, but it's not. Okay, so you guys see that we broke strongly with this USDT dominance, and even if we want to make it kind of do technical analysis on this USDT, you can see that it has clearly broken above, and if it holds it, where the next target will be around 5.16%. And if you want to compare it around here, that would be almost $53,000. So Bitcoin have to break below and start going back down. So this would totally make sense that it does not have to go back down to get another support and start going up. And if it does, just remember these scenarios or technical analysis, we are trying to just look at everything without being biased, okay? Without being a moon boy or being trying to be bearish. But this, I have to be bearish because I see this USDT dominance. I mentioned before, USDT does not matter how much more money comes from people's bank accounts, and it is not actually USDT, but their people trade their coins, so it will get to this percentage. This is not a market cap for USDT, this is percentage. Okay, you want to keep that in mind. So Bitcoin can actually, if it goes, I mean, I lost what I was saying, but it, if it goes lower, it needs to get support, and if we break below, we're going to probably go back down to $54,000, and that will be another support. You guys can see it can go even lower, a little bit lower, almost down to $50,000. But that's going to get a little bit dangerous for Bitcoin, because if you want to look at the macro perspective of it, I have made this line before. This is my opinion. A lot of people still think that we are on the wave, uh, on top of the wave 4, so it's not actually working like this. So I want to show you this first, second, third, fourth, and the fifth. Elliott wave theory usually has 5 waves up, and we're gonna probably go 3 waves down, or you can go even 5 waves down in pulse movement. But let me show you. A lot of people think that it is totally fine. They do not have to see the same thing as I see, and they think that this was our first wave, second wave, and kind of they count this as the third wave, and they're waiting for the fourth wave, and the fifth wave is gonna go higher. That could happen. That could happen. I'm not biased, but I can see that we had these waves. I can count this as one, and this is another one, and this is the third. This is the third wave up, right? So to me, this is almost over for Bitcoin for now. That's the top for Bitcoin, and this supports my thought. If USDT, as I said, there is still a chance of going back down, and that will pump Bitcoin. It could even go a lot higher, maybe it's up to $77,000, and that would get USDT back down to this level. And I am still pretty sure, none of these are financial advice. Do not trade based on what I'm saying, but I am pretty sure that this is going to be a huge support. A lot of I think I am the only person who mentions this USDT dominance, because you guys can clearly see this is the opposite of how Bitcoin is moving. Just look at it, right? All this, opposite of it. Same, right? Okay, so this was the $74,000, went back down, and this was the same movement, so from $74,000 down to 60, almost $60,000. Same deal. So you cannot ignore the fact that you guys need to look at all these TA people that I watch on YouTube, because I want to learn more. I am not biased. I try to learn as I go. Everybody does. If you do not improve yourself, you're just gonna stay where you are forever. Okay, that's my opinion. But a lot of people are ignoring this, and everything looks bullish for them, and you just want to completely ignore a lot of things that they see on the charts. Okay, but as I said, in USDT dominance, I had this scenario that I was saying, if we get on top of the support, on top of it, before we even went all the way back down here, when we were around this area, I already had this line down here, and I said that we can maximum USDT dominance can drop down to this level, and that will be it. But I said I am still seeing a lot of these uh, shadows on top, and I thought that this was going to be a good support, but it wasn't, and it's totally fine. Because you guys can see it by looking at this. You see that got support within these two lines, so it could have actually go lower and get support from this area, and that will be almost around like maybe 58, $60,000. Okay, I hope I'm not making it too complicated for you, but I see USDXY is very bullish. It looks very bullish, and if it passes top of this, which is almost 106, almost $107, it can start going higher, and my next TP would be my next target, I would say, would be around $112. And a lot of stuff is going on in Middle East, which they have their whole different currency than USD. And guess what? If they keep messing with each other, USD is gonna go a lot higher in value, because of course when you get into war, your currency is gonna drop, and a lot of things can happen. Anyways, so far I'm going to go to a little bit of micro technical analysis in here. This is daily, right? So I have already shorted from almost $69,000. I'm not sure where exactly, but I am right now at $60 in profit is nothing. But we have broken this level, which was almost 68,300 ish, $68,000. But we broke below. It is kind of doing a pullback to it. It can still go up to this level, and even if you want to look at it in the weekly chart, you guys, if Bitcoin closes this day weekly candle, especially below these two candles that their body, if it closed down, and even if it doesn't, the next candle can go up to this level 69,300, which totally makes sense. It used to be Bitcoin's all-time high, and if it does, it will be almost around, yeah, $69,000. That could get Bitcoin even lower, and that's my scenario for the bearish scenario. But for the bullish scenario, it can still, if we're talking about if it breaks above, I'm gonna get rid of this line just to see how much higher. I have told you actually before that it can uh, go almost to $85,000. Let me just wait. Let's imagine if it breaks above here, which we still have a long way to go if we want to go sideways. Usually it gets out of either top or bottom around after going at least 70%, 80% of the way within these two lines when it's a triangle. But it can even break earlier. But let's say if it goes higher, it can go up to even $87,000, which, as I said, it will totally destroy my scenario for USDT. The support will be broken, and we're gonna go even a lot lower. And that will be the next target for 2.45%, which I do not think is likely, because 2.5% is too low for USDT, especially right now, because a lot of people are still holding and they're scared, but it does not mean that it's not going to happen. Anyways, if you haven't already, we are almost 2,100 people, 2 more to go. We are slowly growing, and I understand that people do not even want to subscribe when they do not like to hear. Well, I do not actually support their dopamine. I can just be bullish all day and make bullish videos, and you can just be like, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it because that's what you want to hear. But the man is to still hear the worst stuff, bad stuff, and he's still think about it, still consider it, because if you live in this world, a lot of things can happen and it can completely surprise you. And if you do not agree with this, it can still, it's gonna hurt you a lot in this life until you learn that lesson. I've learned this lesson in worst way possible, and it happened a lot to me, and so I finally learned that lesson. Anyways, I'm just talking too much, I guess. But make sure to like and subscribe, share this video with your friends, and comment down below what you think about these scenarios. And I'm repeating most of them because we are still going sideways. There's nothing really talk about CPI. You guys saw that after the CPI we had this drop, and they can get a lot worse. Once you're gonna open your eyes, you're gonna find yourself here, and we're gonna get back down to where the Ichimoku collab that I have been waiting for around almost $51,000, which is, this is a 4-hour chart. Let me see. Okay. Yep, that is $52,000. And if you go to the daily one, there's another one waiting to be filled that is $43,000. So I'm not too bullish, but I'm just neutral for now. But in the longer term, in macro perspective, I still see that Bitcoin is going to probably drop a lot lower than a lot of people are expecting. It's going to probably be the sell the news for halving. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to obviously take time because these are daily chart, and even if we look at the weekly chart, it's going to take forever to happen because of the, you know, you have to wait for it for each of these candles to close for weekly and monthly. All right, this is another video for you guys, and if you like it, I will appreciate it. Like the video, and I will be back. Peace.